My report card has always been full of red ink. Normally, I would fail. And so from primary school, I will fail, and then they will send me to secondary school, which I will also fail. School failure can have a school with 3,500 students. I employ the principal because I don't know how to teach.
Welcome to UpClose and Personal with GenNext, here at InvokED Studio, where we dive deep into the heart of the leadership, collective action, and education equity. I am your host Riya.
And I am Anshika. Today we having a conversation with Jack Sim, who is the founder and director of Toilet Organization. So let's start our conversation where we all know very well.
Thank you for joining us, sir.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Before we start our conversation, I really wanted to know how you're feeling right now.
Very good. It's a nice conference, and I think everybody liked what was presented.
So let's move to our segment. So before we start our conversation, we would like to take you back to your school days. We thought we'd start with something very simple, as we want to take you to the school days. We want to make you remember that school days of that memories. So as all of us have been to school, and there are school memories that we stayed longer with us and in our head. So we have a segment called School Chale Hum.
So in this segment, we have a school bag over here, and we will ask a question. We will randomly take out any object from it and ask a question about it. And yes, don't worry about the objects. These are the objects which you have used in your school time, and we are too curious to know what they mean to you now when you are no longer in school. So it's report card, as you can see. So sir, report card is considered as an important way to check any child progress or weak areas. So in class, there must be many students who want to attain like their first position. You know this. So just keeping this in mind, I would like to ask, when you were in school, you used to get report card. What it mean to you that time, and now when you are think about it, how your perspective has been changed?
My report card has always been full of red ink.
Oh, great.
So normally I would fail, and so from primary school I will fail, and then they will send me to secondary school, which I will also fail, and I failed at the O level as well. So I could not go further to study, and the reason I fail is that I have ADHD, and the teacher always asks me to stand outside of the class. So I don't know what's going on in the class, so I cannot answer all the questions. But I am not stupid, so eventually I go to work. I became a very good salesman and then a businessman. So school sport report card was always something I'm worried for my parents. They are very upset, but it didn't turn out bad.
It means certain marks never decide our destination.
No.
Never.
Even if we are going to give board, it will really gonna help us.
Yeah.
Because today marks have is proof that you have good memory and you can answer the question. But today education is not about answer, it's about question. Are you able to find question that will lead you to answer? Because the AI can answer everything.
Yes.
You only need to have the skill for question. And if you are trained for answer, you don't know how to question, you go to society, you're not very useful.
So we have a bag here, and basically for a student, bag is a school life. Bag is a life itself, and that not only carries object, that carries memories, excitement, and pressure also. So what if you see the bag? What does it remind of you? More of excitement or more of pressure?
3,000 years later.
No, I was always a cheerful child. I get the cane on the stage by the principal every month. But I don't feel very sad about life. I'm always cheerful. So because my mother loved me very much, so I'm always this like very cute person, but making mistake all the time.
Oh, nice to hear that. like we are also used to make mistakes. Like as you are, like you are so cheerful. I think we both, Anshika and we, are the same one here
Yes.
in the school. And now,
It means you're average student or what?
No, I am a failure.
Oh.
According to the school. But in society, I am a success. I created 16 profitable company. Then I could retire when I was 40 years old. Now I'm 69. So the last 25 years, I've been working for free. In fact, one of the business that I started was the Australian International School in Singapore. And school failure can have a school with 3,500 students. And I employ the principal because I don't know how to teach.
So, sir, nothing can be big achievement rather than that.
Yeah, you don't need to know. If you are entrepreneur, you only need to know that there is a demand that is not supplied. Then you employ the people who know and they do the job. You just
Yes.
organize the business.
Means skills matter a lot.
yes. So now,
So I want to ask you another question that so that's goes same like you were active one or not, like you were like to write notes or listening more in class.
Mostly, I like to tell jokes to my classmates, make them laugh, and that was the skill I learned how to be a salesman. And when you are able to make people laugh, your customer like to do business with you.
okay. Now the next question is like, I have a highlighter here. So, which that one memory you would like to highlight from your school that had made you learn or that had given you lesson?
So I was an art club chairman. So I learned ceramic, how to make pottery, how to make sculpture out of clay.
Oh.
And because I learned about how to work with the clay, firing temperature, glaze, shrinkage. Eventually, I opened the biggest brick factory in Malaysia, firing clay bricks, and another factory, the biggest clay roof tile factory in Malaysia, firing roof tiles. So, when you learn things in school, those things may not be having grades, but you are actually learning something could be very useful in the future.
Yes.
Wow, like, it's nice to hear you. Now we move to our next segment.
There was something good in your school and you still carry
Yeah.
that.
Actually, everything is good. Pass is good, fail is good. Everything is for learning, and you don't be sad. You always go forward, and whichever direction you're supposed to go here and you didn't succeed, you end up here. And here is also good, and then you carry on. So if you think life is always good, then it's good.
Yeah. So, sir, listening your thoughts made us also think about our own school too. So, we have come over here as a group of 12 students from 4 different states, and all our school are so different from each other. Many of us study in village, and many of us are studying in co-ed school, and many are from only girls school. We both are from girls
girls'
school.
school, yeah.
So, sir, let's move to our next segment, that is your school versus my school. In this segment, we want to talk how different schools can shape a very different experience for our children.
My school, Singapore was very pro when I was a child. So our school is not very, let's say, modern like today. We live in a very cramped apartment with a lot of people living in 600 square feet. But going to school is mostly about making friends and having fun and play. So play is a very important part of education. So even though the grades is very bad, the play is education.
Yeah.
I learned how to interact with people, how to get along with different kind of people through play.
Yeah. You like to interact basically. Okay.
So, as I really wanted to know, have your school made, has your school, have your school helped you who you are today?
I think so. For example, this morning you see I'm have no stage fright. It's because I was caned on the stage every month, so I got used to the stage, so I have no stage fright. So even caning is also beneficial.
Yeah. So can you like define your school infrastructure or experience? Like
So we have 44 students in one class.
44.
How many do you have?
We have 20 or 26.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good. Huh?
We
We have
enjoy.
44 students in the class. The teacher is crazy about how to handle all these students talking and very noisy and misbehave. So they always ask me to stand outside. I'm talking too much, you know. And I think that in those days there was an assumption that if you pass well in school, you will have a good job. And nowadays it's not true. If you pass well, you might still can't find a job. Yeah. So it's better to be a job creator than a job seeker. In the future, as you grow up, try to start a business and employ people.
Yes.
Yeah. If you try to apply for a job, it's not so easy. Huh?
So sir, like your teacher usually send you back like out of the class. What was feeling that time yours?
Feeling rejected, but I don't want to feel sad because I think it's just because I was naughty. I don't know it was ADHD. I always think I was naughty.
Sir, it's very great opportunity. We are here and talking to you. Like it's very big thing. Ki we today we will learn one like one student who were not good in studies and here is sitting as a very big position.
Yeah. So as we have talked about different schools and different experiences, now there is often one question that keep coming back to us. That is,
3,000 years later.
we often told that you should become a leader or have a leadership qualities. But as a student, we imagine a leader who has authorities, who has power, or who gives instructions to others. So we are going to move to our next segment, that is leader everywhere. But who is a true leader?
So sir, like there can be many meanings of leadership. So according to what is mean by leadership?
Leader is someone who take a decision when the others are waiting for someone to make a decision. For example, you are going out for lunch and then you ask, what do you want to eat? Then it says, anything is okay. And everybody say anything. Then you say, okay, let's eat idli.
Yeah.
So now you are the leader because you decide idli is good for lunch. And then you go to the idli shop. It's very natural that the leadership will emerge when nobody is making decision. But because the society has been always unwilling to take risks, so it's very easy to be a leader because the supply of follower is very large and the supply of leaders are very few. So as you can see in America, even a very stupid man can be the president because other people don't want to be leader. So the leader to be leader is not always like you are a good person. You can be very bad person. You can still be the leader.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
so I want to move. I want to ask you one thing, that as you are the founder of Toilet Organization,
World
so
Toilet Organization.
World Toilet
Yes.
Organization. So sorry for that. Uh, what kind of leaders do there you need to come?
So in my case, I'm somebody who make other people leader. So if I am the leader, then I will be very stressed and I will be working only within my capacity, and I can only achieve maximum what I can do. Whereas if I make other people leader, there's no limit. I can continue creating other people as leader, let them take ownership of the solution. The mission is to get people proper toilet, proper sanitation, hygiene, safety, health. So if more people do that, then my mission is fulfilled. And they feel great about themselves because I help them to become a hero. So I don't want to be a hero.
Okay, nice.
So, sir, as you have worked on Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and that was a really successful mission for India. So, sir, still like many houses have toilets, and still women don't want to go to that washroom. They don't want to use. So, how we can uplift this and
So you have
mentality?
to understand why they don't want to use. Maybe it's no privacy, there's no lock, maybe it's dirty or whatever is the condition. I think if you want to solve a problem, always have a dialogue with the people themselves. And after a while, you will know the solution. Sometimes the women miss the chance to go and open defecate together so that they can chit chat with each other and discuss about their mother-in-law and their husband, how to take care of the children. And if some rural area where the environment is very restrictive and the woman cannot go out of the house except to go to the toilet, then they would prefer not to have a toilet because they want to see their friends.
Yeah. So, sir, can you now I would like to ask, what was your journey to become this leader? Like how you joined it, when?
I think that the situation emerged and then you fill up the gaps that happen. So when I was working as a salesman, I was very happy and my boss was very nice, and then he left and a very nasty boss took over. So when the nasty boss came, everybody, my colleagues resigned. Then I thought, okay, I'll also resign. And at that time, somebody says, if you want to resign, why don't you start a business with us? Then they invested 100,000 Singapore dollar, and we sold $4 million in the first year, and we make a lot of money. So I didn't choose to be a businessman, but because I have a nasty boss, I became a businessman, and I became wealthy because of the nasty boss. So do I go back to thank him for being nasty to me? I don't know. I didn't do that. So later I go on in life and I make a lot of money, and then the currency crisis recession came and I lost half of the money. So instead of being very sad, I say, hey, half is enough to retire, so I don't want to have money anymore. I have enough. And then I became a social worker and I became Mr. Toilet. And why did I choose to be Mr. Toilet? Is because I don't need to be paid to do my job. I can work for free. So I can choose the one that nobody wants to fund. And toilets, sanitation, nobody wants to fund because it's not a charismatic species. It is not charismatic agenda. So people like to fund a beautiful agenda, blue issue, green issue, but not brown issue. So I say, okay, if nobody want to do, then I will do that one because it's more important.
Yeah, it's great.
So nice of you that you have thought about this part of this field.
Yeah. So now it's very interesting to hear your thoughts, and you have shared like very openly what your school memories, and that's very interesting too. So we believe like school is not only for serious conversation, like become a leader in school and like have a good position in class. So that's not. So let's move to our lighter part of the conversation where we will talk. Like we will, it's like a rapid fire, and we will ask very quick questions. Did you ever bunk a class?
What?
Bunk a class?
What is bang?
Like
You have
if
missed
teacher
it,
is teaching and you not came in class.
Sometimes I go to play billiards and I didn't go to school.
Oh. So sir, how many times can you recall it and tell us?
Not so often, but whenever my friend says to me, okay,
Wow. Were you a backbencher or a front sitter?
backbencher, because I can talk behind.
So sir, have you made timetable for studying? I hope you have made.
No, I don't. I don't like to study.
Okay.
I like to play.
A library rat or a playground champ?
A playground.
Playground champ. Which sports do you play?
Oh, I don't play sport. I I just play those traditional games. I'm not the athlete,
Okay.
but
Sir,
I'm an artist. I like
Yeah.
to do drawings.
like any teacher you still remember any of them?
Yeah, I have a teacher who rescued me because there was another teacher who is always sending me to the principal for caning. And then there's another teacher who said, no, 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 this boy is a very good boy. And I remember she was so kind to me. And later on, 40 years later, my teacher told me that teacher was having a divorce, so she was very upset and she always take it out on me. Just bad luck, you know.
Sir, any friend, your school friend, you still with him
Yeah, about
or her?
2 or 3, not so many. I don't have friends because I'm always working. I don't have time to go and spend time with friends. So a lot of people, we like each other, but I think my only friend is my wife.
Oh, wow. Great.
Yeah, my
Late.
best friend.
Latecomer or a punctual one?
Latecomer.
And you often get then you get punished or something?
Yeah, it's normal.
How was like what was distance between your school or your home?
Around 20 minutes walking.
Okay.
One school rule you would like to remove?
All my school is no more there because Singapore is always tearing down building and building new one. So I don't have any more childhood school. They're not there.
But if in general, if you talk about, so one that rule you would like to remove from the schools?
Currently.
Remove
Yeah.
from my memory.
No,
No.
In
Current.
general, we are talking about.
I don't understand the question.
Okay. Like any rule from the school
School.
you want to
Ah,
remove?
rules,
Yeah,
rules.
rule.
Yeah,
Rule.
Any rules?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should have smaller class, maybe
Yes.
20 per class. Then the teacher is not stressed and can take care of all the students.
Yeah. And if there should be one teacher for like minding the students, two teachers can be in class. One for minding the class.
No need. One good teacher. Teachers should not do it like a job. They have to do it because they love children.
Yes.
Yeah. Then the children will understand. If you do it as a job, it's very stressful to be a teacher.
Which message or any suggestion you would like to give our audience who are watching, children who are watching to our episode? What message you want to give them?
So, my advice is that you have to learn curiosity, courage, compassion, communication, collaboration, and calmness. These are the skills that doesn't give you any marks, any grades, but it is the survival skill.
Yes.
Because if you have these skills, you will be able to challenge norms. You will be able to come up with new answer, and you are able to ask questions courageously and audaciously. And you can imagine a future vision of how things can be better, how problems can be solved. And when you see that vision of how problem can be solved, you will ask question to the AI, and the AI can give you the answer. And they get better and better all the time. Right now, there's a little bit of hallucination, but in the future, like this year or next year, they will be very good. There will come a point where they reach singularity, which means that the AI is going to be as smart as the smartest person in the world. And after that, it will be double, and 4 times, and 8 times, and 16 times. And so, in such a situation, you have to be able to command the AI like a tool, just like a calculator or any tool like carpentry tools. And if you are able to do that, it is because you know how to get the best answers and resources from the AI. And if you cannot ask questions, if you are not curious, if you are not courageous, if you have no kindness, in the future, nobody needs you. So this is the danger of the current examination oriented methods. In fact, it is okay not to pass the exam if you know what you are learning can be useful, and it is also better to start a company than to look for a job. And nowadays with AI, you can have one-person company and the AI will be your servant. It's called agentic AI, and you can do a lot as if you employ 10 people,
Yes.
but they are all free.
Yeah. So, what do you think of? Sorry for the last question. So, does AI should enter in class or not in today's class?
There's no choice. The AI should enter the class. It is not about copying, because when you go to real life, you will be also copying. So there's no way, no reason to restrict. You have to then test the person's ability to use AI
Yes.
for a purpose, for an end result, for producing a product or service or testing an idea. If you know how to use AI, I will pass you. If you don't know how to use AI, I will fail you.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughts, wisdom, and yes, thank you to our audience for tuning in. Stay connected, keep that dialogue. We will see you
See you in
in
the
next
next episode.
episode. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.